Long before science could measure frequency, before electricity had a name, the ancients and ancient civilizations spoke of energy. And for centuries, this information, this knowledge was hidden, protected and guarded, and even attempted to be erased from history. It was held within select circles, smuggled away from the gaze of the masses, so that power and control could remain in the hands of the few and not the many. However, fragments have always leaked out, whether passed through cryptic texts, sacred rituals, or whispered by those who understood the deeper game that was being played. As time kept moving forward, these teachings continued to be revealed and resurfaced for those who sought them out, regardless of what you were as far as class, race, or anything else. Ask and you shall receive, because truth always finds its way to those with eyes to see and the faith to follow through. And the truth is, these secrets we're going to cover were never meant to be secrets. They live within you, waiting to be remembered, waiting to be activated. And when they are, they show you exactly how to control energy and shape the world around you. And this is not done through force or done through hustle, but through awareness, precision, and intention. The thing is, most people think their feelings and thoughts are just a passive experience that's happening to them, but they are absolutely not. They're blueprints, broadcast signals that shape the reality that's gonna come to you. The ancients knew this. They understood that your inner world actually isn't private, it's generative. It generates based on how your inner world is cultivated. It's in fact the command center for your external reality. The outer world follows the inner. And so they were clear in their understanding. If you control the energy, you control reality. Now in this video, I'm going to walk you through some powerful, grounded techniques that will help you take back control. Techniques that help you stop leaking energy and start directing it consciously with power. And if you've ever felt like life is random, chaotic, or stuck, you're about to discover the real reason why. Because the chaos you see is only a reflection of untrained inner movement. Once you apply what you're about to learn, you'll feel it. That subtle click as energy aligns and as flow returns, as life begins responding to you differently, not by accident, but by design, as the co-creative being you are. So let's jump into it. So why is it so crucial that we start more intentionally and with more awareness controlling the energy in our life? Well, when we really look at it deeply, energy is in everything, it's everywhere, and it is what is constructing your life. In fact, what you are doing internally from an energetic standpoint, it is what is creating what is happening in your external world. One way I like to think about it that I was taught is that your outer world is simply an energetic history, meaning the energy you have been focusing on and dwelling upon inwardly over enough time that then comes about physically, right? It is a history of that energy you have been dwelling upon. This is why people who think incredibly negatively, which is a certain type of energy, and we can classify all those energies, and also feel pretty badly most of the time, you will never find in a life that is fulfilling or joyful or has the things they want. In fact, if you were to peel back the curtain of that kind of person's mindset who's struggling in strife, seems to always have problems, you would find an incredibly chaotic inner world, filled with chaotic thoughts, filled with chaotic energy, and you would just see that they are not living too intentionally and are just allowing themselves to be berated, to be buffeted by the winds of life, allowing whatever thoughts and energy that comes along to be entertained. One of the reasons that learning to control your energy is so crucial if you want to create reality is because of the idea of infinite action. Now, what infinite action was, and this is something that Manly P. Hall, who was a notable 33rd degree Freemason, in fact, he's famous for having intentionally gone into Freemasonry to discover the secrets and then to reveal some of them to the public. And you can look at his books, The Secret Teachings of the Ages, I believe that's the right title, that will go over more of this, Initiates of the Flame, and he gives some of this information, which he learned through, I believe, 19 years in becoming a 33rd degree Freemason. And one of the ideas he went over that they taught pretty early on, I believe, is that of infinite action. And this is such a crucial concept to understand because when you understand it and you're aware of it, you become more cognizant to how important your energy, your thoughts, and everything else is. And infinite action basically means you are always in process. You are always in action. Your thoughts, your energy is always sending out a signal 24/7, and there is no switching this off. And so a lot of people who are unintentionally or not intentionally focusing on certain things that produce certain energy, that aren't focusing on cultivating their thoughts and mastering their mind and mastering their energy, well, they're just sending any old thing out there, which is why you see a lot of people receiving back a lot of things that they do not want, or at least say they do not want. So you are always emitting a signal and an energy and a frequency that the universe is responding to, and it is responding in a like kind. This is why also you can meet someone at the other end of that spectrum who is positive all the time, and not just front-facing positive, like faux positivity. What toxic positivity I believe people throw around a lot, right? It's an internal positivity. They truly, genuinely are thinking positively. They're grateful, they're appreciative, they're loving, right? They're abundant, they think of wealth. They truly, genuinely have developed those beliefs and those mindsets. They really are feeling good most of the time. When you meet someone like that, you will probably notice that their life is incredibly orderly and coherent and beautiful and fulfilling. It works on both ends of the spectrum. It's just the usual experience for most people that we run across is that they're in a negative place. And there's many reasons for this. We could go over programming and conditioning, the ways in which we were raised, but ultimately that's a topic for another video, and many of you watching this probably are aware of that to at least a certain extent. Ultimately, the thing to understand though is what you are doing in that internal place is sending out that signal that then is bringing in certain opportunities based on that signal. It will influence the events, the opportunities, the people, the manifestations that you bring about based on that signal that's being sent out through infinite action. This is why things or quotes such as "you get what you think about most of the time" is right on the money, because what you are thinking about most of the time is contributing massively to that signal. It is sending out a certain frequency, attaching you or putting you on these frequencies as well, that then gives you back the equivalent physically through opportunity and other means of that frequency. So if you're sending out a garbage frequency, for lack of a better term, all the time, you can't be surprised, or maybe you can be, but if you're aware of this process, you're not surprised when you get garbage back. But through the awareness of infinite action, the importance dawns on us of being able to intentionally control our energy and our thoughts, and to not allow the outer external world to dissuade us or convince us to move into that more negative sphere of influence or thoughts and energy. Now, one of the most powerful ways to change this frequency are through certain techniques that go right for the energetic transmuting of what's going on for you. Your thoughts are very powerful and are something you should look at, but we can also go directly for energy. Also understand that there is what's called correspondence between your thoughts and your feelings. And the way to think of this is when you're thinking, for example, happy thoughts, you usually feel better if you stick with it for enough time. And when you're feeling pretty good, you're usually having pretty good thoughts, right? They have a communication and a correspondence between them. And that's a useful thing to know, because then you can realize, oh, I'm not feeling so good. Can I use my thoughts to help me feel better? Or I'm not thinking entirely positive here. Can I feel a certain way or access a certain feeling? And these techniques will help you do this so that my thoughts also correspond to that. It also corresponds physically as well. For example, if your body posture is pretty poor, you're constricted, you got a scowl on your face, you most likely realize that you're having pretty negative thoughts, not feeling so well. But on the opposite, if you're open in your posture, if you're smiling, if you're more in that positive body language or something physically, it will influence the other two planes of your existence, the mental and the energetic or spiritual, as we're going over here. And there's many ways to do this. When you exercise, it's the same way. Go take a polar plunge and afterwards tell me how you feel. So you can use any part of yourself to influence the others. So what I'm going to do for you now to make this incredibly practical, and so you can feel and experience this right now and start bringing about the energy you want in your life. And again, the energy you dwell in most of the time in your life, it's what's going to build your life. It is what's going to create that next or new energetic history over time. And so the more times you can dwell in this energy, the better. And so what I'm going to go through right now is a technique that I got from a series called Reality Transurfing, which is an incredible book and research done by Vadim Zeland. And you can look into this yourself. It's a huge volume. If you get all of them, I have kind of a huge one that's all of the books in one. It's a big thing to go through, but it's definitely worth it if you want to do the deep dive into that. And I'm going to go over essentially what is called the energy fountain meditation. Now, this is an incredibly powerful one that can very quickly allow you to elevate the energy in your life. And like mentioned previously in this video, that is so important to be able to do. You can intentionally and consciously access and bring about a higher level of energy in your life, which then allows you to create more intentionally and in the ways that you want. And so with this technique, and also the other one I'm going to give you, I recommend doing this often to the point where it's having a massive influence. Again, what's great about this is that you don't need to take too long to get good at it, and it doesn't take that long to do it. So what I'm going to do is actually give you a recorded audio that I have done to walk you through this process. I'm going to quickly explain what we're going to be doing. You do not need this audio to do it, but it can be very useful and beneficial in the beginning so that you can follow along and just go with the instructions and follow along. Now, the audio is about 5-6 minutes. It's not very long. You can do this technique in a minute or less when you get good at it. And so what we're going to do is we are going to essentially tap into the energy that is always around us, and we're going to bring it into our energetic field. We're going to expand that field. We're going to do this through intention and attention. We're going to do this through visualization. And so essentially what you're going to do, and then what I recommend you to do after I go over this, is actually follow this process and follow along with the guided tape I'm going to play in a second. But you're going to bring the energy up, and you're going to use your breath to help you with this, down from your feet or from the ground, up into your body, through your spine, and you're going to watch and feel and visualize this energy coming all the way up. So it's going to just encase your whole body, coming all the way up. And you can visualize this as white, as yellow, as whatever resonates, right? You can visualize it like liquid light coming up, all the way up to your head and out the top of your head. And you're not going to stop there. You're going to allow the energy to keep going, and you're visualizing this. Even if you can't feel it right away, keep visualizing it. It's still working if that's happening. You will feel it the more you practice this. You have to get a little bit used to dealing with energy before you start feeling it if you haven't already. You're going to allow this to continue to extend upwards into a massive ball of energy that I want you to visualize. And this is a loving, powerful ball of energy. I like to just imagine kind of almost like a pulsating yellow or white ball of energy that this is connecting to. You're going to allow this energy to connect. And as you exhale, you're going to allow this energy then from this powerful source to come down the same pathway through the head, down your body, down your spine. Really visualize it going down your spine, by the way. Down your spine, all the way through your body, out the bottom of your feet, back into the ground. Then what we're going to do is visualize the same thing, but we're going to amplify the power of the streams coming in and out. And I want you to really visualize this power getting stronger and stronger so that energy that's connecting to you is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Then what you're going to do is you are going to take the energy that is coming up out the top of your head, and you are going to allow it to fall back over you in this fountain-like pattern. So imagine this fountain is coming around you. It's coming up and out, and it's going to create this fountain, kind of creating this half ball around you. And you're going to do the same the other way. Have this other one coming from above, from that big ball of energy, come and make that same pattern, but now coming upwards. You are then going to have these two streams connect so that you are now surrounded by an energy ball, and you are going to sit there and amplify it, feel it, and connect to this energy. So this is the main process. Now what I'm going to do is play you the audio from this, and I want you to sit or stand while you do this. This is not one you really can do lying down. You can try it, but it's more powerful if you sit and stand. Now, if when you're standing, you don't feel comfortable, you feel like you might fall or something like that, please do this sitting. Sitting will work effectively as well. So I'm going to play you now the audio so you can actually do this. Remember, knowing and not doing is the same as not knowing. So I want you to get some experience doing this and to see how it feels and to feel it out. So please, again, pause if you need to get ready for this. I really recommend you don't skip it. And now let's jump into the actual audio. Welcome to this guided visualization where you're going to be turning on your energy fountain. To get started, it is recommended that you are relaxed and standing or sitting in a comfortable position. Standing is the preferred way, but if you feel like you won't be able to stand while doing this, seating is acceptable as well. Before we get started, please take a few deep diaphragmatic breaths to root yourself into the moment. So we're going to breathe in deeply and release. yourself to just be in the moment, to connect with your breath. Now I want you to take a deep breath in and imagine that there is a flow of energy coming out from the ground, entering through your feet, and feel it and see it moving up your spine. As you continue to breathe in, see this very powerful energy, feel it coming up and out the top of your head and extending upwards towards the sky. See this energy connect with a massive, powerful ball of light in space, in the cosmos, or however you want to visualize this. Now, as you begin to breathe out, imagine this flow of energy descending back down from the ball of light. See it entering through your head, move down your body, down your spine, through your legs, and then pass through into the ground. Just as a reminder, you don't necessarily have to sense the flow of energy at this point. Just imagining it is enough. Now imagine both of these currents of energy, the one that is ascending from the ground and the other descending from the sky or cosmos, from this big ball of energy moving towards each other simultaneously. See the flow of both of them becoming stronger and stronger. Amplify it in your mind. Feel it more and more if you can. See it flowing through from both sides. Now see this flow that was coming upwards from the ground, through your feet. See it going up your spine and out the top of your head, but now creating a fountain pattern, pouring downwards over you. And then do the same with the flow going through you from above. See it flow down to your feet, come out from the feet, and then create a fountain effect of energy, but now coming up towards you. Take a few moments to breathe as you are seeing this. You will now have two fountains, one that is flowing over your head, connecting from the energy from below, and one that is flowing over your feet back towards your body, connected from the energy above. Now, you are going to imagine these two energies, these two fountains coming together powerfully, joining one another to create a beautiful and powerful sphere of energy around you. You can imagine this energy to be white, you can imagine it to be yellow, whatever connects you more. Now draw your attention to your skin or the surface of your body and feel it extend out into the sphere. Connect this feeling out into the sphere. Stay relaxed and stay like this for a few moments, breathing in and out, focusing on this energy ball, focusing on this connection to this source, to this energy, and allow things to flow. Now keep this energy connected and feel it and see it amplifying. Remember, just by seeing it expand and amplify and become more powerful means it's working. If you can't feel it as of yet, you will as you keep practicing. See the streams and the fountain itself expand as the ball of energy around you does as well. You may stay like this for as long as you like, taking in deep breaths and feeling this energy, seeing yourself surrounded by this ball of light. When you are ready, if you are ready to come out of this and take this energy into the day, to stay connected with this as you move through your day, take a few deep breaths, ground yourself back into the body, notice your body. You can wiggle very gently your fingers and toes to put your attention back into the here and now. And when you are ready, slowly open your eyes. If any inspiration is coming through in this moment, or did come through, As you were going through this exercise, it is recommended that you capture it, write it down, and do something towards this inspiration. As you get better at this, you will connect to a deeper and deeper place where these ideas are coming from beyond just your mind. And so it isn't recommended that you capture these ideas and see if they would be of value in your life. Use this guided visualization whenever you need. The more you practice this technique, the stronger your connection will be to this source energy or cosmic energy. You may also do this without this recording and learn to do it on the fly, which can be of huge benefit. Thank you for joining me today, and keep the energy fountain flowing. All right, so hopefully you're starting to feel what that is like. Now keep in mind, and Reality Transurfing will also go over this when you're going through this technique through the book. So it also says this, that don't worry if you're not feeling it right away. Again, you may not be used to intentionally moving energy. Right? It is something that you can do, but think of it like a power or something that you have that's got some cobwebs around it right now because you haven't been using it. Now, as you get good at this, you'll be able to just take a moment and feel energy coursing through you. I can do it for myself right now and just see this and feel the energy coursing through my body in this same way. You'll get good at being able to do that, which immediately changes the signal that you're sending out. And so this technique you can also do yourself. For example, if you're in the guided one, you can't keep up with my speaking. I know I cause you to really take a long breath in that. So, you can go at your own pace as well, but you can do this in about a minute, breathing in, having it come up, having it come back down from the source, coming up, surrounding you, going down, surrounding you, connecting it, feeling it, amplifying it. You can do that in all about a minute, and you'll notice the difference as you're coming through your day. And again, the more you practice this, the more you're going to feel this and recognize that you are actually changing something when you're doing this. You are encouraging this energy to come into your life. Now we're going to go over another technique that's fantastic because you can use it throughout the day. Again, what's great about both of these techniques is they can be used in the moment, in whatever unit of time you are in this current moment. If you're not feeling so good, you're not thinking in the way you want, or you know that you're not connecting to that energy, you can use these techniques in that moment to reconnect yourself, to kind of tune into source, so to speak, very, very quickly. And if you want to manifest and create reality as fast as possible, the more you can tune into source, you can be in God's rhythm or the universe's rhythm and be aligned to that, the faster things are going to move for you. So now for the next technique, and I'm also going to give you a bonus technique, and I just thought of it now that I think can be powerful. Again, these are all going to be very simple, which is what's so magical about this, and the more you use them, the more effective they're going to be. But this next one is also going to use the breath, and your breath is incredibly powerful for directing focus and intention and so many other things as well. Many health benefits to breathing properly, diaphragmatically as well, and we could really dive into why that's so crucial. Pumps the lymphatic system, there's a bunch of different things. But this technique, next technique, we're just gonna call energy breathing. I don't have a better name for it, or breathing energy amplification, doesn't really matter. It's a very, very simple technique, again, that can be done in the moment when you need it, but incredibly powerful. Now, what's going to be good about this technique as well is we are going to give it an intention or instructions or blueprints. And so while you're doing this, you're going to be able to hold in mind what it is you wish to manifest or create in your life. So if you have a goal or something else that you already have an aim for, and if you don't, I would recommend getting one and figuring that out. I have many different videos that go over that. You're going to be able to basically send this out to the universe with an amplified energy to, again, create more probability in it coming about, or bringing it about to yourself faster, or helping the universe to give you the conditions to allow it to come about. Now with this one, again, you're going to close your eyes. Standing is more powerful. Sit if you need to, but again, this one's great. You're just going through your day, you're sitting at your desk, you're wherever, and you can just connect to this. And you're going to move into a very deep breathing pattern. Again, we're gonna do this diaphragmatically. If you can't breathe too well diaphragmatically, just breathe normally, but I would recommend learning how to breathe diaphragmatically or practicing it. That starts at the diaphragm, it's kind of close to the stomach, the gut, and you're going to breathe in from that place. You're going to breathe deeply, and you're going to exhale deeply as well. And I just want you to get into a rhythm doing this about 5 times. We don't need to go too crazy. Now, as you're doing this, I want you to, again, visualize that energy ball around you. So the same, in a way, thing we did with the energy fountain, you're going to visualize this energy field around you, and really see it vividly surrounding you. You can see it in a torus pattern if you're aware of what that is, but just seeing this energy ball around you will be enough. Now, what you're going to do is, if every single breath that you breathe in, you're going to see this energy kind of close in on you, but become concentrated and very powerful, right? So you're going to feel and see the energy kind of all around you contract in towards you. And you can see it being pulled from the universe around you, from space around you, the energy around you. See it being brought in almost like a gravitational pull towards you and your field, amplifying the power of it, right? Kind of like it's coming in. And then as you exhale, you're going to see it expand outwards through the exhale. And you're going to keep doing this almost like this energy ball has a breath of its own, following your own breath. So breathing in, it's coming in, you're drawing energy in, and then letting it go. So you're breathing in, and then you're releasing, and seeing the energy having this ebb and flow to it. So this bringing in and the energy becoming more concentrated and powerful, and then releasing that. As you're doing this, see this energy become more and more vivid, more and more powerful, that expansion, seeing that go even further and further out, your energy reaching and touching further out each and every single time. Now, you can do this for as long as you want, and of course, the longer you do this, the more you're going to amplify the energy. But after a few breaths, I want you to bring to mind what it is you want to create in your life. Always think of this from the positive. Don't think of, oh, I don't want this. Think of what you do want. So maybe it's a certain thing in your business. Maybe it's you want a business. Maybe it's you want to travel. Maybe it's, you just want to live in a happy, fulfilling way. And so you're going to bring up a picture of this, and you're going to have this in the field as you're breathing, and all this energy kind of going in to whatever this image is. You can think of this like sending out blueprints to the universe. You're giving an intention. And so think about what that thing is that you want to manifest. You can think of it in whatever way serves. You can think of it as a picture, for example. Maybe you're holding the picture and you're bringing all this energy into the picture, and you're breathing, expanding it outwards, and you're sending out this picture, this script, this image to the universe. Then you're focusing in energy, and you're sending it out again. And you're going to keep doing this for a designated number of breaths. Again, we can do this in a minute. You could do it 5. You could do this for a very long time. And you're just going to continue to amplify the energy. Again, like I mentioned in the previous technique, just visualizing this means it's working, and it's powerfully bringing about the things that you want. It's allowing these things to be attracted to you. You're creating a magnetic pull here through this energy. If you can't feel it as of yet, that's just because you haven't practiced this enough yet. You will, over time, start to be able to feel this the more you connect to it. Again, this is a great one too, because if you notice your energy drop, or maybe you notice you're focusing on the things you don't want, or focusing on things that are distracting you away from the things you're trying to bring about. If you have a definite chief aim, which those of you who have been watching the channel for a while or who work with me will understand what that is, this is a great one to bring up while you're doing this exercise. And again, you're just seeing that energy ebb and flow. You're seeing it contracting and expanding, and you're intentionally adding more, sending out that energy and that charge alongside what it is you are aiming to bring about. Now, before we move on, I do recommend you pause the video. I don't have a guided version of this, but pause the video to give this a go just for a minute or two so that you can get the feeling of it. If you don't do it at this moment, I recommend after this video, or at least some point today, doing it, because again, I will repeat, knowing and not doing is the same as not knowing. Information and transformation are two separate things, not even of the same category. Information's not going to do anything for you, but experience absolutely will, so I recommend you give it a go. Now, I promised you one more technique that just came up for me spontaneously. It's not what I was going to include, but this can be very powerful. And once again, is another one you can use throughout the day. I'm a big fan of techniques like that. Yes, I'm a big fan of also doing, scheduled meditations like for 30 minutes to an hour, visualizations and things too that you have in your routine during the day. But what I love about these techniques is you can use them throughout the day to keep your energy high, so that that signal you're sending out through infinite action remains at a high frequency. And so you always have the tools in your tool belt to, boom, I'm somewhere else and I can't sit down and do a 30-minute meditation right now, but I can certainly activate my energy fountain. I can certainly expand and contract the breath to send out more instructions to the universe and connect to that energy. And this next one you're going to be able to do as well. And this next one is going to involve other people, because a lot of people have trouble when it comes to these these principles or maintaining their energy when they're around others. And the reason for this is because not a lot of people, or at least the majority of people, are in what we could call a high conscious state. And so you can easily be influenced by it. But this is a way in which you can not only maintain a higher state, but also bless these people and encourage them to come higher. Now, it's an encouragement and an invitation, and you don't even have to say anything to them. You are just going to send energy to them. So it's almost like you're shooting energy to them. I find this one incredibly powerful. So for example, if you're out and about and you're judging someone, to change and go, in fact, I'm going to see them in a good energy. I'm going to send them good energy. You could also pray or see it as a prayer if you want to come from that angle as well, and just say, I pray for this person to send them love, send them healing, send them whatever they need, and then just briefly seeing them in that energy. This is incredibly powerful, and another one you have to go through the experiencing of to understand how powerful it can be, but you are going to feel fantastic as you're doing this. It is going to amplify your own energy. And so just as you're going through your day, and this doesn't need to be in a situation where you're trying to transmute a negative energy, just when you see people that you're passing by, that your lives have touched for just this brief moment in time, and maybe the only moment in time in this form ever, you are sending them blessings and good energy. You know, I like to do this by imagining that light around them. And so I will see them surrounded by that light coming down and kind of encompassing them and kind of sending them love and light. And that's one of my favorite ways to do it. And the thing about this is not only do you get some interesting results when you do this, you know, you'll see sometimes people who were almost curious, like they feel like actually something has happened, and they'll smile or whatever else, and they won't necessarily know where it's come from, but they'll be like, well, what just happened there? But you also yourself a lot of times going to feel really, really good. And there's many reasons why this may be. If we go to an even higher perspective, I believe it could be because we are all at the end of the day one and the same reflections of each other, all coming from the same source, just different expressions of that. And yes, when we're stuck in separation and duality, it's sometimes hard to see it. But as you're playing with this energy and you're coming from that place, you are connecting to that more. And so this is another technique that you can use as you're going throughout your day, just shooting out blessings, love and light and good energy to others. This will, again, not only have an invitation type of effect on them and possibly brighten up their day, it may not. Again, they may completely not receive it, but at the very least, you're going to start feeling better. And in situations where maybe you find yourself in an energy you don't want to be in because of other people or your response to them, you can use this technique to elevate your energy and know that you're sending out these invitations of good energy for others. Now, if you combine all three of these techniques and you do them diligently with commitment and consistently, you are absolutely going to notice different results. You are absolutely going to be able to control the energy in your life and keep your frequency and energy high to the point where you are creating a new energetic history. Remember, the outer world follows the inner world, the energetic world, the quantum world. The Newtonian world is taking its cues from the quantum world, the quantum to Newtonian transition point. And so if your energy that you are now controlling and maintaining and having intention with is in a certain place long enough, the physical has to catch up by law eventually. Takes a little longer for the physical because it's the densest rate of vibration. It has the most mass, so it takes the most energy over time consistently for those changes to occur. But if you stick with it, you will start noticing those changes. Now, to take this even further, I recommend going to see this video and watching this video next, simply because this can be one of the biggest blocks not doing this when it comes to your energy. And if you release what we call the shadow or the energetic anchors that are holding you back, when you go to amplify your energy, it's going to be so much easier. So I'd go check this out next.